What's going on, guys? It's your boy, O'Day, the Jamaican sensation. And this is Wagwan with O'Day Osborne. And if you don't know what Wagwan means, it's patois for what's going on. And joining me in the studio is bad man, Bubba Jenkins.
Yeah.
Yo.
Wagwan.
Yeah. Yo, and if you guys don't know, Bubba is fighting this week, actually.
April 1st.
April 1st.
No Fool's Day.
Yo, let's go. And you're fighting Chris Wade.
Yeah, a little rematch happening.
Man,
you know?
and I need to know because there's a huge rivalry between you guys. How did that start? What's going on with that?
Yeah, man. I would just say it goes into, the after fight antics. Everyone leading up to a fight is always gonna sell the fight. I can beat him, he can't beat me. I'm faster, I'm stronger. We're always gonna believe that way to have that confidence to walk into a fight. But after the loss that I took, dealing with all the things I was dealing with, he's gloating in my face and, doing my little shotgun thing in my face. And I've seen him win and lose and act like that. You know what I mean? So it's just not that good of a person or character. You can tell that, you can tell a lot about a man's character after he takes a win or takes a loss. So.
Where's he from?
New York.
Upstate
New York. He's a little fucked up haircut frat boy. You know what I mean? Like,
Jersey Shore.
He's got a face you can definitely want to slap. I slapped him at weigh-ins one time. I wasn't even fighting him.
Yeah, because Dewey told me y'all got into a couple of scruffles like outside of the octagon.
Yeah, he just got this arrogant look on his face, and it's hard for me not to want to slap him when I see him.
Yeah, because he be on some disrespectful shit too.
Very much so. And I'm a real dog. I'll fuck up the bag and beat your ass. Right?
Yeah.
What fight?
I feel that, man.
I'm saying right now.
Hey, and another thing I hate, I've talked about this before. I feel like there's levels. And two things you don't do is talk about people's religion and people's family. You know what I mean? And he goes into talking about, religion and family and stuff like that. I've seen some of his, kind of jaws, and he'll jaw back and forth and be disrespectful on that level.
The one thing that made me slap him, so I had an interview, and me and Brandon Locknane, who fought in the championship, at this last PFL championship, I lost to Brandon. But before that, me and Brandon was talking at breakfast or whatever, and he was like, "Yo, you know what just happened?" I'm just like, "Oh, what? We're just kicking the shit." I'm not best friends with Brandon, but he was talking. He was like, "Oh, yo, Chris Wade just liked a bunch of my chicks' pictures." And that's family. You don't touch family. And I was like, what? He's like, yeah, man, my fiance. He liked a bunch of my fiance pictures. And, I thought nothing about it. But the next interview I had, which was 30 seconds later, 2 minutes later, I walked down the street, had this interview, and they were like, who are some of the people that the 145ers of PFL don't like? And immediately I had just had that on my head. So I was just like, oh yeah, nobody likes Wade. They were like, who wouldn't you let your sister date? Of all the PFL fighters at 45, who wouldn't you let your sister date? And I'm like, Chris Wade for sure. He's over here liking people's pictures, yada yada. And that got back to him. Apparently he's married. And that got back to him. So I'm checking my weight, and homie walks up on me and is like, yo, what'd you say about this? What'd you say about that? And I'm butt-ass naked checking my weight. So I just turned around, didn't pull my pants up or nothing. I turned around, whipped my dick out, and I slapped his ass. Straight up. And we began to fight.
Hey, you gonna have to cancel.
We didn't fight. I slapped him. He backed up, and he looked confused as to why I would slap him. And it's like, why would you ask me questions while I'm bent over on the scale with my ass out? Like,
not just that, you couldn't wait. You know what I'm saying?
It's the wrong time.
It's business
to press me.
It's business, bro.
I'm feeling vulnerable as hell. I got to slap you now. You know what I'm saying?
And he had to cross it off the bucket list.
Right. Real talk.
Been slapped by a dude with his dick out. All right.
100%. And that is a fact. That's not something I fabricated or made up, manufactured. That's a fact.
Yo, Dewey told me, man. Dude was like, yeah, man, Bubba can't stand that dude.
But this fight is, trying to stay calm, cool, collected. He believes that, he beat the best me on the night that he beat me, and, not going to make any excuses. He first round to third round, he beat me solidly. 15 minutes. I would say maybe 2 seconds went my way of a 15-minute fight. And I didn't show up for training. I didn't, I was in the wrong place at the wrong time. I knew that I was going to have a long night if I didn't knock him out with that first flying knee that I tried.
I've been there.
You know what I'm saying? I just knew that, hey, man, I don't have it in me. I don't have, I didn't do the right things to show up today. But, I was tiptoeing that line between celebration and preparation.
Yes.
And I think my celebration had lasted a little bit too long.
I've been there, man. And I fought Tyson Nam. I fought him 3 weeks notice. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Terrible weight cut. no excuse. Hats off to him, anyways. But man, I did not feel it at all, and I was doing like all these random flying knees during the fight. You know what I mean?
Trying to get him out
of there, bro. And what I should have done was, just be calm and kind of just be collected and pick and poke. But instead, I was fucking trying to get him out of there, and he just overhand right, boom, and clean me. Yeah. But it be like that though. Those are I think sometimes those lessons you go back and you say, okay, you know what? How can we grow from this? How can we learn from this?
100%.
How can we, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you take the Sean O'Malley route and say, you know what, that's a fluke. It didn't happen. I'm undefeated.
Yeah.
When he fought,
Can't take that route.
Man,
he soundly beat me. I can't take nothing from his win, and I don't disrespect his ability to win. I don't disrespect his
But
skill.
you also said it wasn't your best you. You know what I mean?
Absolutely not.
If you had to say
not.
on a scale of like 1 to 100, 100% is the max. What percent would you say you were at during that fight?
38%.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah,
So I cannot.
I was going through a divorce. I was going through money issues. They were taking my children from me, and I didn't show up to training. And coach was like, "Where you at?" I'm in New York, coach. Oh, well, come on, dog. You got 4 weeks. And, I was out and about. So
it'd be like that, man. It'd be like that, man.
And it was my first year in the PFL. I kind of didn't have the smoothest turnarounds. After each fight, I would take more time off than the tournament would allow.
Yeah. This one was smooth though.
We fight every 8 weeks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This camp, absolutely beautiful camp, smooth camp, couldn't complain.
And the turnaround itself, like I felt like you just fought yesterday. You know what I mean? It wasn't obviously it wasn't yesterday, but it like that 8 weeks went by so quick.
Absolutely.
And you're still fresh on everybody's minds.
Yeah.
That's what was great about that.
I mean, it was a championship that, I feel like I was winning majority of the rounds, except for, the referee had to put his input in that we did not need. I was not in a place where I needed to be hurt or anything like that. So, I'm looking for redemption.
Speaking of referee, the fight this past weekend at Fury FC, I believe 76, where the ref.
We watched the guy get strangled?
Yes.
I know what you're talking about.
Oh my goodness. That was crazy.
Man, that's not the talk of everyone's gym talks, right now. That's crazy.
Something's got to give because, it's not like it was it's a state commission. So what do you do when the commission, you know what I'm saying, is fucking up on that level?
That's what you do. Who else is going to protect you? We don't have an association.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? There's uniforms, but we're not unified.
No, I don't even know, man, because so for you guys that don't know, this weekend we had a guy, I don't remember his name. I do know he was managed by, an Iridium. He was an Iridium fighter, and he was fighting, and the guy put him in a triangle. And he was clearly unconscious. The
breathing habits and everything.
Yep, he was convulsing.
Just being in the gym, being a fighter, I don't have to be a referee to know when a guy's unconscious.
Yo, Lana, do we have that clip queued up or Chase? All right, I'm gonna show you guys what I'm talking about here. Shout out to Lana, by the way. Today here, look, behind the scenes,
getting it done. She said I look like a Chris.
Look at this.
Yep. Okay, it's tight. Everyone knows it's tight. The commentators are doing their great job analyzing it, and goodbye. He's gone.
Watch, look at his body. Look what his body's doing.
Ladies and gentlemen.
He's done. Look what his body's doing. You see?
He's been gone. Check him.
Yeah.
Like if you don't know, check the hands, ref.
Yeah.
Look
at his leg. His leg is dead.
Those are muscles that are spazzing, not him. And he just got his arms.
Look, his arm. Look at his. That'll be his left arm flat on the ground. And he just broke his arm. Yep. He woke up and had to tap.
And he's tapping already.
Oh my goodness.
Terrible refereeing.
Broke his arm.
You got one job, ref.
Arm completely snapped. Wow. That's insane.
How are you the only person in the building that don't know what's going on, and you're the one person in the building that is paid to know what's going on?
I still cannot believe that, man.
It was tragic to see.
That's so tragic, man.
Like we were talking about earlier, we're kind of happy he switched to a arm bar. Cause 30 seconds of no oxygen to your brain, you could be brain dead.
Dude, had he not switched to that arm bar and break his arm, that guy probably wouldn't be here today. Honestly, that guy probably, because not only that, but when you're fighting, so it's you need more oxygen because you're breathing more. You know what I mean? You're way more like out of breath, so you need more oxygen. So man, that was so hard to watch. That was so hard to watch. That
Easy to talk about, very short, very hard to watch for sure.
and that type of shit shouldn't happen. Honestly, in my opinion, that type of shit. That is your job. You only got one job.
Yeah.
Certain jobs you're not allowed to be bad at.
But then I applaud, in a sense, there's a thin line. I applaud Herzog for allowing homie to run around the cage as long as he did. He ran so far, so educatedly smart that he was protecting himself. Although I wouldn't have been mad if Herzog called the fight. You saw that UFC fight where that guy,
I fought him.
He got spinning back kicked.
Dude,
dude ran around for a long time. Me personally, if I'm the fighter that made him run, I would be looking at the ref like, yo, this isn't fighting. He is defending himself with education. He's smartly defending himself, but that running he's now cost himself the fight.
That fight was crazy.
It was.
That comeback was insane, man.
Yeah.
Like, I fought that guy in Madison Square Garden. I remember being like, because I was hitting that dude with everything, man. Everything. He just was a dog. Hitting him with everything. Like, everything but the kitchen sink I was throwing at him, man. He was not going away. He was just like, nah, I'm here. He was just coming. Same turnaround. Third round comes, and I'm like, tired, bro, and he's just coming. I'm like, dude, I ended up winning. It was unanimous, but dude, that was probably one of the hardest people, toughest guys I've fought thus far, man.
Those
he's
resilient
tough.
Zombies, bro. You got to be able to wrestle them. Let me go ahead and grapple this motherfucker because my hands hurt at this point.
Bro, he was just. You ever had a fight like that where you just been hitting people with everything and they just would not go away, and you're like, man, what is this dude made of?
I could say my Bobby Muffet fight, Bobby Muffet in the PFL. Kyle Boshiak.
Yeah.
Kyle Boshiak. I was hitting him with everything. I set him down 3 times in the fight. I saw him close. His eyes were closing up, and towards the end, I ended up having a swollen eye, not being able to punch like I wanted to. But at last 30 seconds, I heard Dewey in the corner, 30 seconds, Jigs, 30 seconds. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to put my right foot on this platform. I'm not stepping one step back. And he just kept coming at me, and I did what I said. I stood there, and I just kept crashing his entry with my power hand. And I probably did it 4 times in the last 30 seconds where I landed flush, and I'm hoping he's gonna fall. And every time I feel the firecracker in my hand go off, bam! And he would just kind of like look like, and then just kind of wobble back to me, and I just bam again. And,
he just cracked him
and he just kept waking up out of whatever slumber I was putting him in. But those Zombies guys, man, you gotta respect them.
Oh my goodness, that man. Hey, you said something too. Dewey being like 30 seconds, 2 minutes. I love when Dewey calls out how much long you have.
Absolutely.
Or
me and Dewey got a great chemistry where I just be TC time check. My thing is time check. How much time? Not so much to know how much to breathe or this. It's more of a strategy. Like how much time do I got to work in this position? How much time do I need? The last 30 seconds we're looking for a takedown. There's certain things and cues that we're looking for as a coach.
That guy's incredible, man. Because I was a teacher for the last 6 years. I didn't really I wouldn't say that I grew up in the MMA world. I kind of grew up in the wrestling world. Like I knew a lot of wrestlers. You were one of my favorite wrestlers in high school.
That's what's up.
Man. You, Burroughs, you and Jordan were probably one of my favorite wrestlers in high school. Another one was Sean Bunch, my teammate, was Sean's cousin, James Jenkins.
Okay. I know Bunch. Shout out to Bunch.
Yeah, man.
Burroughs, all those guys.
Yeah. So I didn't really grow up in the MMA world, so I wasn't really familiar with who Dewey was. I came out here and I was cool with Cody. I was always cool with Cody, and you know what I mean. I was training in another gym, and I wasn't really too happy with the training, and so I was just like, Cody, like who are you training with out here? And he told me about Dewey and stuff like that, and how I looked up a couple of videos, and I was like, oh, okay, his energy is nice, and first thing I noticed with Dewey right away, how real he was. He's so real. He's gonna tell you immediately what it was, what it is.
He got that DMX spirit. Not only just his raspy voice, but 100% how real he is, how straight he is, how authentic he is, and he's that with every individual person. He's customized his personality to your fighting style and whatever you need as a warrior, as a person, as a man. He brings that that to you.
For real.
camp.
I didn't even know that he was, he coached Francis Ngannou, or that he coached all these world-class boxers and MMA fighters.
He's
and
a legend.
I didn't even know he was.
OG.
Yeah, man. I didn't even know he was a world champion. None of that. Or that he fought my old coach, Duke Rufus. I had none idea.
Yeah.
None idea who he was.
Dewey is the dust under the rug.
Me never knew who him is.
Yeah, absolutely. He's that dust under the rug. When you look it up and you look up all the history that people try to sweep away, Dewey's been there.
I did. I was like, how is this guy not like one of the best coaches on paper in the world right now?
Bro,
when I looked up his credentials and all the shit he did, I was like,
last year we went 25-1 as a team.
Yo.
And you know what that one loss was? My loss to Brandon Loughnane in the World Championship.
Man.
So I was trying to get that undefeated year for the coach and get him that title belt, you know what I mean? So
but
get him that championship. But that 25-1 record that we took all year, we were working. From me to Timmy to and I'll say this. This year I'm seeing an uptick in how many people showing up to.
I was about to ask you about that. How's that feel?
It was me and Timmy. It was me and Timmy, BKSF, BK MMA, me and Timmy, and of course MVP and a couple other people. But out of nowhere, and shout out to Ali, because Ali sent me to Dewey right before COVID started. I stepped in Syndicate and I stepped in Extremes. I walked in there one time. I walked right back out. I walked in Extremes. I saw Lance Palmer. I saw Kennedy. I saw a couple other. I saw 3 people that were going to be in my weight class this year. So man, I grabbed my bag, turned around, and walked out. I said, Ali, you brought me here to Vegas. Like, what am I doing here with all these faces everywhere? I don't like, when I show up to a gym, everybody want to watch. My name rings bells. So people are like, oh, Bubba, they always want to watch. So I usually like a secluded, quiet, where I like to work and chop my wood where nobody see me. So I was doing a lot of Hawaiian boxing with the Hawaiian boxing team. And once he sent me to Dewey, that day I have not looked back. We have not had a day where we worked or chopped. Dewey has been my head coach since the day that I met him.
That's what's up, man. And I was gonna ask you how you feel with all these, because I told Dewey the other day, I was like, bro, Dewey, I know since I came, there's been a lot, but there probably was a lot even before I came. So I was gonna ask, like, how does that impact you and your relationship, or does it feel like sometimes? Because sometimes I know how I am, and sometimes it feels like people want the hype. You know what I'm saying? They want the hype coach, and they weren't there for the real coach. You know what I'm saying? Like
shooting in the gym.
And Dewey was like, "Hey man," Dewey said, he's like, "Man, I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm gonna have to close the door here pretty soon."
It's a beautiful thing. I love seeing more people come in though. The reason why Dewey's got to close the door soon is because he will give you everything he's got to each person individually. Your workout with him, you get done with your workout with him, and you're like, "Oh my God, all right, Dewey, I'm done. I'm done." And he's like, "All right, good work." And then he's right next to the next person, whether I walk in, whether you walk in, whether it's Cody, he gives that energy. Come on, Bub, I need more. Whatever he needs, he requested from you right then and there, as if he doesn't have anything else to do the rest of the day.
No, for real.
I mean, he's going from 9 in the morning to 12 at night, and he barely sleeps. So
I don't know how he does it.
I be praying for him because I need him here for another 15 years. My children coming up under Dewey, so I need him here for another 25 years of really good coaching. I need his help. I'll pay for his doctors and all that. I need his help to be on tip top because he's the truth, man.
He really is, man.
He's the missing recipe to a successful program.
For real. And it's so rare that you have coaches that are so real and so unmatched in what they do. Like, that man is so real. If you don't like something, he's going to tell you. And a lot of
coaches,
not
giving them the effort. You know, there are a lot of coaches that allow you
because you're a world class athlete. Have been there
and have a name. There's a lot of coaches that allow you to do mediocre work and praise you highly. He ain't gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? If you putting out mediocre work, he gonna tell you it's mediocre and we need to do more. Do that around again. Do this one again. He's almost a little bit. You wouldn't think this from how often we just so so street and so regular. You wouldn't think that he's a perfectionist, but there's a thin line of him wanting to to get you to a state of perfection. You know, he's very close to being a
like
perfectionist.
a computer, man.
Yeah,
he's a computer coach.
If he can feel it. It's one of those things. I've been a really good wrestling coach because of my wrestling background, so I know what it sounds like and what it looks like to be a good coach. I've been around really good wrestling coaches, so they have that intensity mixed with a little bit of old school, mixed with a little bit of understanding of the athlete. It's not just cookie cutter. You got to come in and got to do it my way. Hey, there's a little bit of give and ebb and flow, and you need that for everybody.
Recipe for the dish.
Yes, sir.
It's a recipe.
That. You can't just put them in anything. You got to have a understanding of who you're working with.
Yes.
And so I know that. And then coming into the game with him, I've seen and I can hear, and he has that coach's eye, that coach's tongue, and that coach's understanding. So therefore, I respect him, but I believe in everything he says. There is not one thing he tells me to do that I question at all.
That's because the proof is in the pudding. Everything he says, he has done.
Yeah.
And
he's got an example.
Man. And I love that he's got so much knowledge of the game. He wants you to breathe a certain way. He wants you to move a certain way. He wants you to blink your eyelids a certain way.
Can't walk like that. You gotta run. You gotta shuffle. Can't do that. There's small things that you wouldn't think. There's little small things that you wouldn't think that that are part of the fight game that he is so advantageous on. He's a cheat sheet in the corner.
Yeah.
When I have him in the corner, I actually feel like I'm half a round up.
Bro, I know, man. It's insane because what's crazy is that he's not like yelling at you like, come on, what are you doing? He's not yelling. Yeah. He's not yelling. He's just talking like normal Dewey in the corner, and he's letting you know, hey, man, we got
energy and effort.
Yeah, hey, we might be behind in this round. Let's go, man.
And he's real.
Yeah.
So I lost, in the championship. I got stopped in the 4th round, and we come back to the corner in that 3rd round, and I'm like, Coach, it's 3-0. In my opinion, I'm biased as hell. I'm in there. It's 3-0. And he's like, nah, bub, it might be 1-1, and that was a close round. We gonna need this, and I'm like, nah. In my head, I'm like, nah. We doing good, but it was the belief of understanding, like, no, it might be closer than you think, so give me more effort. And I could see, it wasn't panic, but I can see the want on him for me to give him more. And I definitely was trying to do that. So when you have a coach like that, when you have a mentor like that in your corner, you're trying to do everything for him and for your family as you could, the same way, because the love is the same.
So if I had to ask you, what did you learn from that last fight, with all that happened with Dewey and how the outcome was and how everything unfolded? What do you think you learned from all that?
I learned, man, you can't be that emotional. I love to bring the fans into the fight. I love to have some antics. I'll smile. I'll point. I'll what's up? I'll play. I'll have a little bit of personality on top of my competition. And a lot of times I would lose my focus
on all that
and doing that, or I would get more fatigued, or I would do something where I just wasn't getting the wins that coach wanted. There were times that I won, but he's like, "Come on, bub, we need more focus in this area, and we need more things in this area."
You were focused. I like to say you were focused more on the sizzle than the steak.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, 100%. And I believe, with him preparing me all year, I believe it was the last moment of the last fight that cost me. I got kicked in the groin during the fight, and we had to do the 5-minute break. It'll stop, and obviously Dewey's like, take the whole time. And, my leg is on fire. I'm breathing or whatnot, but I got emotional while I should have collected myself. I should have breathed. I should have fixed my.
You took the whole 5? I don't remember. Did you take the whole 5?
I didn't. Okay. I didn't take the whole 5.
I didn't want to take.
Dewey was telling me to take the whole 5, but the referee was yelling at him to not coach, and it was chaos as the fight was going on. It was a smooth fight. I thought I was in the pocket. I was doing all these great things. As soon as he kicked me in the balls, I took that break, and that's when things became chaotic. That's when I should have allowed my emotions and my experience to redirect me into why isn't the takedown working? What are you doing well? What is he doing? I see him. I'm missing that power punch by a millisecond or by an inch. What can I do to get to that? Had I been thinking that, I wouldn't have been so emotional, and I wouldn't have got out of my character of the winning fighter. And I didn't. You know, he was like, "Come on, let's fight," and I was like, "Bro, you kicked me in the balls." And then I heard the ref yelling at coach, and I'm, you know, my head just started being everywhere. Plus, my leg was on fire. So all the antics and all the things leading up to that moment is what cost me the fight.
Yeah, man, and that's such a great breakdown and understanding of how everything, you know, could teach you to be better for the next time.
Yeah.
Because sometimes, man, it's so easy to have something like that happen and be like, it was fluke. Or if it wasn't for the leg,
it won't happen again.
Yeah, it'd be like, you know what? If it wasn't for the leg, I would have been fine. Or it won't happen again. Like you just said, it won't happen again. You know, because I've been there, man. We've all been there. You know what I'm saying? So I love that you said what you just said.
The best fighters analyze it correctly. You have to look within. Some people don't look within, and they don't look themselves in the mirror. They will lie to themselves in the mirror. And Dewey says this all the time. You can lie to each other. You can't lie to yourself. You can't lie to yourself. And that's one thing that I've taken on. Like, you know, was I good enough to win that fight?
Yeah.
Sure. Should I have been better to win other fights? That's where the lying comes in. You know, I won that fight, so I'm good enough. No, okay. Luckily, you won that fight with that opponent. Had that opponent had a little bit more, you get your ass whooped. So those are parts where you have to say, okay, I got to be better, not just for the contenders and the challengers, but I got to be better to be a champion.
That's what's up, man. I love hearing that, man. And not just that, it's so dope being able to sit in front of you today, because in the wrestling world, like I said, you know, when I was in high school, it was like Jordan Burroughs, Bubba Jenkins, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, alongside of it, you know, my teammate, well, like I said, was Sean Bunch's cousin. So that's how I discovered all the wrestlers who I should follow, was through James Jenkins, one of my teammates back in high school, you know, and so it's interesting having you here because you're from Virginia Beach, right?
Yeah, VA. Shout out Virginia, man. Percy Harvin, Allen Iverson,
Hampton Roads, the area, right?
Those are my people. So you know, I grew up in an atmosphere that was very prejudiced in a sense. You know, being a black man in Virginia is like. We are the melting pot of the North and the South. Virginia was a slave state. So we got as far as you can get north and still be slave. We got as far as you can get south and still not be free. You know what I mean? So it was the atmosphere and the mentality of a lot of people out there. You get the man who thinks he knows everything and and who controls everything. And then you get the black man who's like, nah, you're not gonna tell me that, you know, I'm not my grandfather. You know what I'm saying?
I feel that.
You know, so we you know, Michael Vick was I'm not my grandfather. Allen Iverson, I'm not my grandfather. And me and Percy Harvin grew up, played football together and things like that. He was a, you know, amazing football player.
You met him?
Percy?
Yeah.
No, we played on the, Percy Harvin was my elementary school best friend.
Oh, no shit.
We played on elementary school. We went 5 years. We went 5 years without losing a football game.
Wow.
I went to the better wrestling high school. He went to the better football high school.
Wow.
But we stayed friends. We went on our recruiting visit 1 week apart to Penn State. And I ended up signing, and he came the week later to Penn State. And Joe Pa, I was like, yeah, man. I was talking to Joe Paterno. I was like, yeah, man, my boy Percy's coming out here. And he knew, of course, that he was recruiting them and whatnot. And he was like, we got to get you both here. You both Virginia boys. You would love it, you know. And it was just a great understanding of that time that I was growing up in, having Vic and Iverson be mentors, and then having that understanding. We also had another baseball guy, from Chesapeake. He was really good. If his name is slipping me, the Utleys. There's two brothers that played in Major League Baseball. So the four of us around the time were the pinnacle of all sports, not only in Virginia but in the nation. I was the number one recruit in the country, got up for wrestling. Percy was the number one recruit in the country for football. And the older brother, Justin Upton. The Upton brothers. Yes, they're from Chesapeake, Virginia. Wow. So I remember seeing this newspaper thing where all four of us were on the front of the newspaper. So it's just kind of like iconic to
Hampton Roads has
Athlete Factory.
Yeah.
The Athlete Factory.
Legends.
It doesn't matter what sport, we are the Athlete Factory. You know, y'all can have New York can have what they want. Cali can have Texas, y'all do what y'all want. Florida, y'all have what y'all want. Virginia, I'm going to say we just put them all out in all kinds of shapes and sizes.
Especially Hampton Roads, man.
Indeed.
Because MMA, I don't know if there's another superstar from that era in MMA from Virginia, from Hampton Roads. I think you were it.
Yeah.
You're the one. You carrying the team right now.
Flag for Virginia MMA, that's for sure. We got shout out to Fight House, Virginia Beach Fight House, man. They brewing some up and comers. I ain't gonna lie. Being an affiliate to a club out there, you know, they just like, yo, you're from Virginia Beach, why don't you show us love and be an affiliate with this? I went there a couple times and worked with some of their guys. Love the coaching there, great coaching, and you know, shout out to Virginia Beach Fight House. They are definitely coming.
Oh, that's what's up, man. Shout out to them. Also, shout out to you have an after party after your fight. Tell me a little bit about that and tell the fans, everybody, where they can get, you know, all the good stuff, the insight to your after party that's coming up.
Let me go ahead and pull up some information. You know, that thing's been getting weird a little lately. But no, man, we got the after party at Bella Vista. It's an Italian spot out here. And it's not, it really isn't the after. So it is an after party to my fight, but it's not the celebration of the fight. It's more of, I'm trying to do like that Jay-Z brunch. I'm trying to, you know, I want to wrap my fights around social events where we bring the city out and everybody starts networking. You know, everybody that you meet knows something you don't know. So I try to put a bunch of people in the room. I'm a facilitator. I'm a people collector.
I like that.
So I like to put a lot of people together and something, I met you at the Bubba J after party thing. And if they go off to do business, I smile from that. I smile from people being able to be in the room and network and politic and do things like that. So that's basically what it is. Yes, I happen to have a fight. Yes, we're going to celebrate me beating the hell out of Chris Wade, but we're mostly there for everyone to shake hands, see who's who. You know, there's some special guests that are coming, so y'all just pull up and pop out.
Hey, I'm coming for sure.
Yes, on my page there's tickets, there's links, there's all that. So I've been pumping that out on my social media. But Bella Vista is going down. We got complimentary champagne from Bel Air.
Let's go.
They're going to be cooking there, and food is going to be off the chain. It's just an amazing event that, you know, my team put together. So shout out to Simona and Reagan. They really helped me really put this together, and also Mallory, Simona, Emma, and Reagan have done so much while I'm preparing for my fight, while I'm doing the hard part of the stuff. They're on the behind scenes thing. So I'm grateful for them, and my team is strong.
That's awesome, man. That is amazing. And so how did you get connected with your team?
Man, just like networking.
Valerie and them.
Yeah, just networking, being one of the locals of Vegas. You know, I try to get to so many different places.
Vegas is such a business state. I learned so much about the business side of things being here in Vegas. When I was in Milwaukee, I will say this, man. Midwest, Milwaukee, we work our ass off there. You know what I'm saying? It's cold all the time. We in the trenches all the time. We know how to work. We definitely, that's the one thing I learned from being in the Midwest is my work ethic is prime from being in the Midwest. Now, I will say on the other end, they lack a little bit of that business, you know, getting into the who you know, how to get there. You know what I'm saying? Because they focus on, I will say this, they focus on the important part. But the business part in this era is more important sometimes than all the other stuff.
You got to know how to monetize. You got to know how to build the brand. You got to know all that type of stuff. So
I've been seeing you everywhere too, man. I went to a basketball, NBA celebrity basketball game. Bubba was there. I went to a comedy festival. Bubba was there. I'm just like, yo, this man is everywhere.
It's really business minded. I'm trying to build an inheritance for my children. And I'm trying to network with all the people that I can network with, because one person can see my passion for who I'm trying to be, and they can help me get there by just saying, bro, I see you on this skateboard. Why don't you hop in this car? Because I'm going to get there. Whether I'm rocking the skateboard or rocking these J's, I'm going to get to where I'm going. But if you pass me on the way and you see the sweat on my face, you see the passion in my heart, you might want to help me out, because I got a blank check. And if we get to this bank, I'm going to break you off something.
I love that, man. That's what's up, man. And hey, Bubba, once again, man, thank you for rocking with me and coming to the studio. It's been a pleasure. Guys, check out my man, Bubba Badman's Jenkins, man. April 1st. And if you don't know, now you know. Check him out. I'm going to share the link for his after party tickets, where he can get all the tickets for his fights, all that good stuff, man. Please go on this man's Instagram page. It's up on the on the screen. You'll be able to see it. Yeah. Badman Jenkins.
Man Tings.
Badman Tings.
Son, no.
You don't know how we are do it.
Yeah,
I saw we are do it. Boop, 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 boop. Once again, guys, shout out to my man Bubba here. My name is O'Day Osborne, the Jamaican sensation, and this is Wagwan Podcast. Yeah, out. Man.